There are those in your life that might disqualify your perseverance as some sort of a psychological malformity. They might say, well, Polly, you see, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Those people have not gone through the ordeals, maybe, that you have. Those people have decided to quit rather than go through the thing. Because the only person that sees exactly what you're going through every day is you, right? Nobody really else can say, I know exactly what you're going through. They might have a perception of what you're going through. They might find some sort of solace in giving you some empathy. But is it truly what you're going through? Are they actually in the right frame of mind to give you advice on your journey? Are they in the right? Do they have the right to give you an opinion about what you are going through personally? I don't know. They might actually be like your spouse, your significant other, your parent, your child, your older child. They might have that right to do the thing where they can come to you and say, hey, listen, what you're doing is folly, what you're doing is foolhardy, and you should probably desist and just keep doing something else instead of trying to do the thing that you're doing. They might have that right, but most of them don't. Most of them don't have that right. They might have the opportunity to tell you something is wrong. They might have motive to tell you something is wrong. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you be glorified in all of your wonder. I don't know. I say let them grumble and let them complain, and I'm just going to do what I do. I'm going to go on, and I'm going to persist with diligence and determination and discipline the things that I deem my life needs. I can become a millionaire. If I made $10,000 a year for 40 years, I'd be a millionaire. Whoop-de-doo. Or I can get to the millionaire quicker than that if I just do something else. It's the people who want to tell you what they think you should be doing who really have never seen anything else. Go to school, get good grades, do your best, then you can marry the right person, find the right job, get a good house, get a good mortgage rate, put it into your 401k, do the same thing over and over again, and then eventually, when you're 65, you can retire and enjoy whatever's left. Seriously, man? Are you dumb? You need a kick in the head. There's no other way to say it. I'm sorry. That is folly. That is foolishness. If you think that living this tiny little existence is your plan, your goal, your dream, your vision, living this tiny little thing, doing this as little as you can with the little time that you have? Are you kidding me? When I got up, I had the same amount of time that you had. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, they had the same amount of time that you have. The same amount of time that the hobo on the corner has. They'll have the same amount of time. What we're doing with that time is what matters. So if you're setting a goal, and say your goal is here, and you can achieve this milestone, this milestone, this milestone, you're not sure about the full goal yet, but you can get part of the way there. I would say, if it's an attainable goal for someone else, right? You've seen someone do it before, you read it about it in a magazine, seen it on TV, etc. Scrolled through TikTok, and there they were doing the thing that you dream about. And you think that you can get 1/100th of the way there, then I believe you should do that if it's, morally pure, morally astute, morally sound. It doesn't matter if it really coalesces inside of the group ethos that you're part of, whatever culture you're part of. It doesn't really matter if it melds with society's norm or their idea of norm. Clearly mine does not. Clearly I've written so many books in 10 years, and clearly that's not normal. What's wrong with you? Well, I've got a bigger mindset than most people, and that's okay. I am okay with myself living on the other side of the bell curve of their normal. I'm not going to be their normal. I'm going to be my normal. I'm going to be actively pursuing a greater poly heart in the future than the poly heart that there is now. I'm not going to go backwards. Even if I take 3 steps back and I'm pushed back 2, I've at least made 1 step forward. When you fail, and you will fail, you'll fail again and again and again. You don't actually have to keep failure as a mindset. You learn from that failure. You fail forward. What have I learned? Well, I learned this doesn't work, and this doesn't work. Okay, so I won't do those things. But I'm still going after that goal, right? I'm still going after that direction. I'm still going towards that thing that I really desire. Hey, do you have a vision board in your house? Even if it's just a bunch of pictures of like windsurfing and paragliding and like living on the beach, put some pictures up. Put up a vision board for yourself. This will help you get to that goal. Because as we pursue dopamine, if we want to live on the beach, sipping Mai Tais, watching parasurfers, or maybe we want to be parasurfing. Maybe we want to watch the guys on the beach from the ocean to the shore. Whatever dream, whatever your ultimate goal is, maybe you want to live in the Swiss Alps in a little cabin and shepherd goats or whatever. Maybe that's your dream, bro. Put up some pictures of the Swiss Alps on your wall. Make it the screensaver on your computer monitor. Make it the background on your phone. Get a vision board. Put the dream in front of you, and then take steps to get to that dream. It's just that simple. And I can't hold your hand and say, do this next, do this next, do this next. But there are ways to accomplish more. Instead of playing a game on my phone, I decided to make a little YouTube video. So I'm not taking, I'm making, right? I'm not creating content for content's sake. I'm not playing the game. Hey, check this out, you guys. I got to this level, and this is how I did it. I mean, I did those once in a while. Back in the day. I don't do that anymore. I don't create content. I create value. And so, taking the time away from the mindless, numbing, value exhausting doom scroll that Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever you're doing, you take away from that. You say, I'm going to take, right now we're at 7 minutes and 47 seconds. I'm going to take from that and I'm going to put it into something to give to somebody else. Wow. It's not that I'm better than you. Look, I'm still drinking garbage from a plastic can, from a plastic bottle. It's not a can, it's the bottle. I'm not better than anybody. I'm just me. Eventually I'll get to the point where I drink water from a well with my hands, or a clay vessel. Holistic and pure and all that. I'm not there yet. That's okay. I still drink coffee pre-ground. Even though I used to own a coffee shop, I know how much the FDA allows for rat droppings per 100 pounds for the raw green beans. I know all that. I still drink pre-ground coffee. That's okay. One day I'll learn, right? But my goal is way down the road, and I have to make attainable steps to get to that goal. Yes, there's better things to drink than Pepsi, cherry Pepsi from a plastic bottle. I mean, look at this. Listen to this. What is this? Sugar, caffeine, phosphoric acid, sugar, caramel. Bottled in New York. New York City. Get a rope. My point is this, not to disparage on anyone living in New York. I agree with Baz Luhrmann, it's okay to wear sunscreen song that came from somebody else. That you should live in New York once, but leave before you become cold and cruel. I think it's good. I think it's an important lesson. People should live in a city just to see what they don't want. Now I'm rambling. The dream that you have for your future self should not be exhausted by those around you. Don't let squatters live in your house. Don't let naysayers and poo-poo heads and wastrels declare that you are not valuable enough to have the dream that you desire to have. I'm sitting right now in an unfinished house. And in 11 to 12 days, the bank might take it away. Or God will step in and have a miracle happen. I'm counting on the second. I've done everything I can. I have created the time and energy and effort to put into a paycheck to create enough leverage with the underwriters and the bank say that I'm a valuable asset and this property is valuable, but the builder is the problem. But I'm here. Hi. One of my neighbors. But I'm here in my goal. I'm here in my goal, sitting in my goal, an unfinished goal though it is, but I'm at a milestone. I still have milestones. Still can celebrate the milestones. I don't forget to celebrate the milestones. I celebrate milestones. The goal, you have a bigger party when you get to the goal, and then you just set a bigger goal later down the road. But I have goals. I have stretch goals. I have 5-year plans. I have 10-year plans. I have 20-year plans. I have end-of-life plans. I'll give you an example. The second date my wife and I went on, I bought her a funeral plot. That might sound weird to you. But we went to the Tulsa State Fair in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I bought a funeral plot for her. It was a pauper's grave for free, but we signed our names. Eventually, I went ahead and bought 3 plots because you never know. We might have a need for a bench, or we adopt a child or something down the road. But in Bonaventure Cemetery, I got a really good deal on it. Probably one of the better real estate deals I ever did. I got it for about a quarter of the price. This guy advertised in Penny Saver magazine. Nobody reads Penny Saver except for like he and I. And bought them for $700. They were going for $2,100 a piece. So yeah, good deal. But it was a milestone because I knew I would die one day. So I better take care of this lady with me. So you want to prepare for the future self. You rob from the now to pay to the later. That's what interest is all about. That's what paying yourself first is all about. When you get a paycheck, do you pay yourself? Do you pay God? Do you pay yourself? The first reaping from your paycheck, off the gross, obviously. Well, that's just my opinion, at least. Off of the gross, you say, all right, this is mine. This is God's. This is the churches. This is the synagogues. This is the temples, etc. And then you say, this is for the poor. And then you pay your bills. You don't work to pay the bills. You're working for somebody else then. You work for yourself. Even after every paycheck, you just take a penny. You say, this is mine. I'm going to invest it. And people will say, oh, you make, don't do that. Whatever, man. They can say what they want. I will abide. The dude abides. The best lesson from the Big Lebowski. The dude abides. You got to have the rug because it tied the whole room together. You just got to have the one thing that you need. And you're going to go through all these circumstances. Big Lebowski, Forrest Gump, you just look at both of those as parables and say, you just want the one thing. Forrest wanted Ginny. That's all he really ever wanted. Well, he became a multimillionaire in the process, became a famous, met a bunch of met another president. He became, kind of world renowned and just accidentally, but all he really wanted was Ginny. And for one hot night, there he had her, and then he had her progeny. So that's kind of a success, I guess. Not really what he envisioned, but he got his goal. Milestones were really different for him, though. But you'll have that. You set out to do something, you set up to the goal, and you're like, I think this milestone, I should do this, this, and this, and this. And it's radically different from what you supposed it would be. And people will say, well, that doesn't, that's not going to help you get to, yeah, it will. It'll help me get to that goal. This weird milestone that you don't see as valuable, I see as valuable, and life has thrown us together to see it as valuable. It will happen. There's a parable that Christ taught, Yeshua. He said, by chance, there was a man walking down a road. He's talking about the Samaritan, the Good Samaritan. And he says, by chance. Well, I had to look that up in Greek because I thought it was like fatalism, by chance, But he just kind of meant like this is how it happened randomly, just one day. And so is that predestination? Is that predetermination? Is that fatalism? I'm not sure. I still believe in free will, even though he knows what I'm going to do before I do it, which is like the big catch-22. Like, I don't get how it works. But whatever, man, I'm not going to parse it. I'm going to do it. Just leave somebody else to explain it. Maybe I'll write a book on it one day, but I'm too busy now. If my purpose was to write the book, I would write that book. I'm on the verge of publishing. Let go of being stupid and embrace wisdom to change your future. It's one of the most powerful books I've ever read. And though I'm the author, that sounds pretentious and egotistical or whatever you want to call it. But it's actually just because I stole it all from everybody else. I mean, I woke up, I read the Bible. That information was there for thousands of years. And it was there before my granddad was a baby. So I just found it. So I'm just going to give it to you. From the Bible, from other sources, Earl Nightingale, Dale Carnegie, you name it, Jim Rohn. There's people out there who have said, wow, I need this in my life, and then they present it to me, and I'm like, oh, I need that too. So you go about it. Even as far as Dunning-Kruger, these two guys who discovered this effect, Dunning-Kruger effect, and you can read about that online or whatever, but these guys, they found it, was it 99 they found it, or 87, something like that. They found it in 87. Well, there's a book that was written the year I was born, How to Read a Person Like a Book, and it's all about body language. We know what that body language means, but, what does this mean? Steepling. What does that mean? Or if I grab your hand and then put my hand on top of your hand to grab it, the dishonest handshake. There's different things that I've learned that I've put into this book that have helped me, and me reading these weird books, people might not see it as the milestone for the goal, but I mean, my Audible, all these books I buy are now tax deductible because of research, so that was a strange bonus. Check it out. This is for my business, my Audible research, even my Netflix subscription, because I write fiction books. So anyway, weird tax offshoot. But the main reason was so that I could write these things, these sayings, these little parables, these stories into one solid book. Let go of being stupid and embrace wisdom to change your future. And I took it from Genesis to Proverbs to Revelation, from the Bible, and all sorts of other places. And it's a very valuable book. But it included milestones. It's 70 chapters, 7 parts, 10 chapters each. But the milestones that I had to go through to get to this point, I mean, I've written from every epoch in my life, childhood, mid-20s, late 40s. Every epoch in my life is represented in the book to different stories, because this is my personal journey of how I let go of being stupid. But others might not have seen those valuable lessons, because you never really fail if you choose to learn, right? You never fail, you just learn or you win. I think that quote is attributed to Nelson Mandela, but I could be wrong. Conan McGregor said it too, the mixed martial artist. But the milestones have been many, and some of them were not necessarily seen as milestones at the time. But that doesn't mean they're not, because I didn't fail. I learned. So, the beginning, I'll say it again in case you missed it or in case you forgot it, because I tend to ramble and I weave my stories like little rabbit trails all coming together one. When someone tells you that what you're doing is silly or a waste of time, you look at them and say, I believe you're wrong. Thank you for your opinion. I will put it in my side closet of my mind and my pantry on the extra library of opinions. I will regard it as possible wisdom, but I believe that my journey must include this to take me to there. And you don't even have to tell them that. You just say that to yourself if you would like. You just say, thank you. Those are definitely words. I don't really despise anyone. I've had a lot of hate. I'm a strange Bible believer. I believe in a literal Bible, so therefore I believe in a stationary and enclosed earth, which is a very, very strange viewpoint for a lot of people who believe that the earth rotates around the sun. So that's just me, but from a religious standpoint, that's my belief. And you go to Goodreads and look up my book, Biblical Cosmology, or My Flat Earth. Both of those books have been destroyed by people, and that's fine. They took a lot of time and effort to read my book, to learn what it had to say, and to disprove it in their mind. And that's good press. Thank you. All press is good press. You know, I'll tell you, don't agree with them, but I don't hate them. Billy Graham was actually asked by someone, or was it Will Rogers? Anyway, either Will Rogers or Billy Graham was asked by someone. They said, you always say something good about everybody. What would you say about the devil? And the person, Billy Graham or Will Rogers, said, well, he's persistent. And so, yeah, that's the truth. Even anger, even devilish malfeasance can be seen as persistence. And so that's a good trait, I guess, you know. Which leads me to remember the part in the movie Gladiator at the very beginning. Marcus Aurelius is having a conversation with his son, played by, what's his name? He's got the little hair lip. Anyway, really famous. Well, Joaquin Phoenix. And Joaquin says, and Marcus Aurelius was going through a list of traits of noblehood, nobledom, good traits. And Joaquin Phoenix says, what about lust for power? That is a good trait. Something like that. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. You've got to enjoy this journey you're on. You have to enjoy the journey that you're on. You take everything, you put it through the mill, see what comes out. If it's chuffa, Psalms 1 teaches that the wind will carry away the chaff. The chaff is just the excess garbage, the stuff that is not good seed. It'll be carried away. Don't worry about it. Instead of focusing on the negative, you've got to focus on the positive. You have to focus on what is good. If you see 1,000 things in your life and only 2 of them are positive, focus on those 2 things. You guys have a good day. My wife just pulled up. We're going to move the bathtub upstairs. That's going to be fun. That's a lie. But it's going to be an adventure nonetheless. Maybe I'll learn something. At least I'll have a bathtub. Bye.